Dr. Chad pretty much saved me. My name is Travis, and part of my job is lifting things every day. With my back problems, that wasn't happening. So I went to see Dr. Chad, and I gotta tell you, spinal decompression is the easiest thing I've ever done. And not only am I lifting things without pain, I feel like I've gotten my life back. I'm telling you, you need to go to Genesis Back and Neck.
That just blesses me to hear that. Spinal decompression is safe. It's FDA cleared. It's not painful, and it has a huge success rate. At Genesis, we accept most major insurances, and your first visit will be at no charge. Please stop hurting and call me, 817-328-1922. That's 817-328-1922, or online at genesisback.com.
Welcome. We're here with a very special guest today, known by his family as Mike Manning from ChillFactorAC.com, but known to thousands of customers as simply the AC Whisperer. So, Mike, how did you get labeled with the name the AC Whisperer?
You've been talking to my wife again, haven't you? That's all very cute, but honestly, I think she calls me that because I succeeded in solving some very complicated issues over the years. I use a very accurate diagnostic protocol that has proven to be very reliable. It allows me to pinpoint the root cause of the problem and offers you the option of having me repair your system rather than replacing it.
For more information about this legend of AC, go to the AC Whisperer's website, chillfactorac.com. That's chillfactorac.com. And don't be confused with those other imitators out there. There is only one chillfactorac.com that has the AC Whisperer. So stay cool this summer with chillfactorac.com.
Pop quiz for all business owners. If you're not incorporated and someone sues your business, which one of these can you lose? Your home, your car, or your life savings? The answer? All three. Because if you're not incorporated, it's not just your business that can be sued, it's you too, which means you could lose everything. Once business owners realize the risk of not being incorporated, they usually scramble to incorporate or form an LLC. To make it quick and easy, Incorporate.com is now giving away a free incorporation guide to all business owners, so you can incorporate in just 10 minutes. For your free 10-minute incorporation guide, call now, 1-800-733-1035. Protect your financial future. At Incorporate.com, they don't provide legal or financial advice. They just make incorporating or forming an LLC quick and easy. Call now for your free 10-minute incorporation guide. 1-800-733-1035. Hurry while supplies last. 1-800-733-1035. That's 1-800-733-1035.
660 AM, The Answer. 660 AM, TheAnswer.com. Only for Texas. This is the Wells Report with Jon-David Wells on 660 AM, The Answer.
Yeehaw! You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is Jon-David Wells. The great Ann Coulter joins us in about 2 shakes. Joining us tomorrow at 7 o'clock will be Mark Davis. What does Mark Davis have planned? Let's find out. Mark, what's up?
Hey, JD, good Monday night. So I come back from vacation. Many things are still the same. Donald Trump still dominant. 2016 talk still the rage. Weather still hot. But change may be in the wind. The temps will cool a little bit next month, but will Trump fever? What are the local stories that deserve our attention? It is great to be back, and we will look further tomorrow morning at immigration policies, hot, fresh poll numbers, and more on the Tuesday Morning Mark Davis Show. See everybody then, 7 to 10 a.m., right here on 660 a.m. The Answer.
Mark, we will not miss it. Thanks very much for joining us, by the way, and to tell people what's coming up. Our telephone number is 866-660-5759. Ann Coulter is going to join us in less than 10 minutes. Do not miss on this broadcast. Republican presidential candidate Donald Trump wants to change, amazingly change, immigration in the United States. Yesterday on Meet the Press, Donald Trump talked a little bit about what he had planned, even with Chuck Todd trying to interrupt him every third or fourth word.
We have to make a whole new set of standards. And when people come in, they have to come in.
You're going to split up families.
Chuck,
you're going to deport children.
Chuck, no. We're going to keep the families together. We have to keep the families together.
But you're going to keep them together out.
But they have to go.
What if they have no place to go?
We will work with them. They have to go. Chuck, we either have a country or we don't have a country. Either we have a country or not.
How do you do it?
The cost of doing it. Look at the cost of what we have right now.
The cost of doing it.
Let me ask you this. Do you think
I understand it, but how do you do it?
Do you think there's tremendous cost for the illegals that are in here right now?
Of course there's cost to it.
Tremendous. Do you think there's tremendous crime being committed by illegals?
Well, there's definitely evidence that it's happened.
Tremendous. Far greater than what heinous one. And you see it all over just last night. All over. We will do it, and we will expedite it so people can come back in.
Okay, that's just part of it. He would rescind President Obama's executive orders on immigration. Native-born children of immigrants, especially even those living illegally in the U.S., have been automatically considered American citizens since the adoption of the 14th Amendment of the Constitution in 1868. The odds of repealing the amendment's citizenship clause would be difficult, requiring a vote of 2/3 of both houses, blah, 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 blah. However, Donald Trump would give it a shot, which is more than any of the professional cast of politicians have even tried. Republicans in Congress have repeatedly failed since 2011 to pass bills aimed at ending birthright citizenship. It's because the Democrats, and only the Democrats, want that birthright citizenship to be a part of the American lexicon. Conservatives believe the granting of citizenship in such cases should be changed without amending the Constitution. Trump agrees. They're illegal, describing native-born children of people living illegally in the U.S. You either have a country or not. Other details. Mexico pays for a permanent border wall. Mandatory deportation of all criminal aliens, tripling the force of immigration officers by eliminating tax credit payments to immigrant families residing illegally in the U.S. Trump said a tough deportation policy was needed. There's definitely evidence of crimes linked to immigrants living in this country illegally. He repeated comments he's made previously, noting that the good people can come back legally. This was such a big deal to Ann Coulter. She said that this particular document was on the level of Magna Carta. Remember, she's been extremely worried about the future of our nation based on the Immigration Act of 1965 by Teddy Kennedy. Well, she has her say coming up in just a couple of seconds. The author of Adios America, the left's plan to turn our country into a third world hellhole. Ann Coulter joins us next on the Wells Report. This is 660 AM The Answer.
This is Larston Crockett, and I want to introduce you to GenoStem. This product has changed the supplement world forever. Are you tired of having a collection of synthetic vitamins that could be toxic with side effects? GenoStem is in a category all its own. It has 18 amino acids and 21 naturally occurring growth factors. I take GenoStem, and I've experienced a loss of body fat, increased lean muscle mass. I have more energy throughout the day, sleep better at night, and I'm a better man in the boardroom, the bedroom, and the gym. I take GenoStem, and I believe you should too. GenoStem has changed the lives of thousands of people. Shouldn't you be one? If you're an athlete, weekend warrior, or just a regular man or woman who wants to improve your quality of life, learn more and place your order at my website, genostem.com. Enter code USA at checkout to save 10%. Don't take my word for it. Try it and be amazed. Order today at genostem.com. That's genostim.com. Get 10% off and 100% money back guarantee to change your life. You want the golden key for your health? It's at genostim.com.
I'm Steve Sidkowski, a former Wall Street insider. I'm holding a book that will show you investing strategies which could help you earn the kind of money you've always dreamed about. And right now, I'm giving this book away for free. So who needs to read it? If you're in the middle of your career and worry you'll never have enough money to retire, you need to read this book. If you're already retired and your income isn't enough, you need to read this book. And if you don't want to be selling burgers at 80, you need to read this free book. It includes the strategy I use to make a 72% profit on a trade where the stock only moved 12%. You'll need at least $1 million to ever fully retire. If you're behind on that goal, you really need to read Trade Like the Pros. And you can for free by calling 1-800-708-4557. Skeptical that it will deliver results? It's a free book, so what do you have to lose? Find out how at 1-800-708-4557. 1-800-708-4557.
Dallas Baptist University Women's Night Out featuring Shonda Pierce. Thursday, October 15th, 2015 with Lindsay McCall and Karen Williams.
You ever tried to put on a pair of Spanx in an airplane bathroom? My body twisted in ways I didn't know could.
Focus on the funny. Get your women's group together for a fun night out. Women's Night Out at Northwood Church in Keller, Texas.
So, there I was. I didn't want to give in to the peer pressure, but they already had their bags of mascara out and their lipstick, and I'm like, what I got? Blistex.
Tickets on sale at itickets.com. Call 1-800-965-9324. For group tickets, go to getgrouptickets.com or call 844-381-4751. Buy 10 or more reserved seats at one time and save $5 per ticket. Buy 30 or more reserved seats at one time and save $5 per ticket and get 2 free tickets. From Salem Media Group, Inc. and Awakening Events.
Sample comes with a 90-day order. Copays and deductibles may apply.
If you or someone you care for are using painful urinary catheters, Medical Direct Club can help. There's a new catheter that hurts less, and you can get a free sample with free shipping by calling now. Pain and urinary tract infections can be avoided if you're using urinary catheters. The new disposable catheters from Medical Direct Club hurt less due to an incredible new design that reduces pain by gliding easily and effortlessly. Old catheters can scrape and cut, causing pain and infection. These new catheters from Medical Direct Club are changing the lives of people who use urinary catheters. Medicare and your insurance will pay for up to 200 of these new catheters per month at little or no cost to you. Medical Direct Club handles all of the paperwork with your doctor and includes lifetime free shipping when you join. Membership and a free sample are free, so call Medical Direct Club now. 1-800-600-6144. That's 1-800-600-6144. End painful cathing today. Call 1-800-600-6144.
There are 2 types of hot water heaters, thankless and tankless. The thankless kind work like this.
I'm throwing in a load of laundry.
Hold off on that. I'm hopping in the shower.
Rinnai tankless water heaters work this way.
I'm throwing in a load of laundry.
No problem. I'm hopping in the shower.
Rinnai's innovative tankless water heaters provide an endless supply of hot water, even for multiple tasks at the same time. Rinnai tankless water heaters, the hot way to heat water. Learn more about Rinnai's industry-leading products at www.rinnai.us. That's RINNAI.us.
Got a lot on your to-do list? Now, during Kubota's Power to Do Great Things sales event, get a great deal on an L3301 or 3901 tractor with a live continuous running rear PTO. Now get financing as low as 0% APR for up to 5 years, and great customer instant rebates when you buy a new L3301 or 3901 and 2 implements. Now through September 30th, 2015. Call toll-free 1-888-465-8268 for details about cost and terms. For more information or to find a participating dealer, visit Kubota.com.
You can listen on the go. Find us on iHeartRadio. 660 AM, The Answer. You're hearing tomorrow's front page on the Wells Report with Jon-David Wells on 660 AM, The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is Jon-David Wells. So after the first debate, a shakeup. The outsiders have come to the lead, and for reasons that are becoming pretty obvious. Donald Trump, for example, finally decided to say, hey, you know what? We're going to quit playing this immigration game that is purely to the benefit of the political class and very few others. And then he started laying down parts of his plan. A lot of this planning came from Jeff Sessions from Alabama. The senator has been working tirelessly on this. But Don Trump knows where to get the right information, the right ideas. This is such a good plan. And Coulter, who frankly is prone to sarcasm, but not prone to hyperbole, called it the best governmental document since Magna Carta. She joins us. And Coulter, welcome to the Wells Report.
Sadly, it's not a governmental document yet. It's the greatest political document.
There you have it. There you have it. Let's talk a little bit.
But I'm hoping it will be a governmental document.
Do you think that Donald Trump is going to actually be able to make it all the way through this process to be the Republican nominee?
Yes, I do, despite the entire media trying to destroy him by putting on morons to sneer and say, oh, this can't be done. It doesn't work. He doesn't understand. It won't work. All night I've been listening to expert legal analysts tell us we need a constitutional amendment to end anchor babies. As you'll read in a few short pages in my book, that's utter nonsense. I just heard on TV expert analyst Judge Napolitano on Fox News say that the 14th Amendment was passed after the Civil War, which is more than most of these people know. So he got that part right, in order to give citizenship to blacks and Indians. Well, those of you who have read those few pages of my book should know. No, actually, the Supreme Court decided a case quite clearly about 30 years later when John Elk, an Indian, born in the United States, claimed U.S. citizenship, and they said, 14th Amendment is about black people. So it was certainly not to give citizenship to Indians. The way Indians ended up getting citizenship in America was not because of the 14th Amendment. Again, it applies only to black people after the Civil War. You remember what the Civil War was fought over.
I heard about that, yes.
Congress had to pass a law in 1924, which, I mean, it's confusing to some expert legal analysts because it has such a murky and deceptive title. It's called the Indian Citizenship Act of 1924.
Yeah, the Indian Citizenship Act. It was in all the papers,
That's how
wasn't
they
it?
got citizenship.
Yeah.
Not the 14th Amendment. So, no, the 14th Amendment does not require that we give citizenship to any illegal aliens, the child of any illegal alien who runs across the border and gives birth here. American citizenship is not a game of Red Rover with the border police. This was slipped into a footnote in 1982. And yes, you heard me right, not 1882. 1982. Reagan was president, and Justice Brennan slipped in a footnote saying, why, yes, the children of illegals born in America, they're citizens too. He could have slipped in a footnote that the entire continent of China are citizens in the United States. And apparently we'd have Judge Napolitano telling us that the Civil War was fought in order to give citizenship to all of China. No, it wasn't. All you need to do is pass a law. The famed federal judge, and certainly no conservative, Judge Richard Posner, the most cited federal judge. He's on the 7th Circuit Court of Appeals in Chicago. He's well admired for his intellect, and I cite him in my book. He concurred in an opinion a few years ago about an anchor baby for the express and sole purpose of saying Congress needs to pass a law tomorrow and put an end to this anchor baby nonsense.
I certainly wish they would. Ann Coulter is our guest. She does all the research in the world for every book that she does, 10 of which have ended up on the New York Times bestseller list. Adios America, The Left's Plan to Turn Our Country into a Third World Hellhole is the very latest. We talked to her about that book. You still have time to go purchase it. I understand that there are just a few copies left because everybody in the world owns one except you. So get out and get a copy of this book. She details all of this. So Donald Trump steps up and says, you know what, we're going to do this. And the first thing that Chuck Todd does on Meet the Press is say, you're going to split up families. And Donald Trump says, no, we're going to send the families together as a family unit back home.
Yes, it was beautiful. And he said, what if Chuck Todd said, what if the countries won't take them? And Trump said, they've got to go.
Yep.
And that is why he is polling so well. It is an absolute lie, as I have also been hearing on TV all night, because the objective now is destroy Trump. He's going to take away our cheap labor. He's going to take away these bloc Democratic voters. We can't round them up.
No, we can't.
Be done. We can't build a wall. There's going to be tunnels under walls. We just can't. Of course, we can do all of this. He is succeeding right now, and the reason he is pulling ahead in the polls is because of immigration. The American people have been screaming that we want no more immigration for 30 years. Politicians lie to us over and over again, as Marco Rubio did when he ran for Senate as a Tea Party candidate in Florida. Promised that he was dead set against amnesty. He'd never supported amnesty, never would support amnesty. Gets to Washington and spend 3 years pushing an amnesty bill. Well, finally, we have someone who seems to really care about Americans and Americans first. And I must tell you, they are going to hide this from you, and they're going to lie about this document. So all of you listening right now, not only should you buy Adios America, now my 11th New York Times bestseller, and read by Donald Trump, cover to cover, but you should read Donald Trump's 6-page immigration policy paper. It is very clear. It is very appealing. They can't even quote from it because he is cleverly inserted. I mean, it is just such a brilliant document. He has inserted over and over again points that if the mainstream media were to dare, not the mainstream media, the entire media,
right,
except for 3 talk radio hosts, Breitbart and me.
There are only 5 of us? Wow.
About that. If they were to pull out a full quote, for example, the first thing he starts with is, how am I going to make Mexico pay for the wall? And he says, well, Mexicans living in America send back more than $20 billion a year, $22 billion, he said, in 2013, in remittances. They just send this money out of the country. So this big, economic churning of having all these people working and buying stuff and their sodas and they're paying rent and blah, blah, blah. No, they're not. They're sending it back to their grandmothers in Chiapas. That's $20 billion just being sucked out of the American economy that will not be spent to buy your home or to buy your product or to tip someone or for anything else. He says he'll impound the remittance payments. And I think if most Americans found out that $20 billion is being sucked out by both legal and illegal immigrants from a single country, from the United States to Mexico, their heads would explode.
Absolutely, they would. Mine did several years ago. And Coulter, our guest on 660 AM, The Answer. There are three things that come out of this. A nation without borders is not a nation. I heard Ronald Reagan say that. A nation without laws is not a nation. A nation that does not serve its own citizens is not a nation. And that's the one that rings in my head like a bell, because I've seen this government go out of its way to satisfy the needs of those other than Americans, and I've had enough.
Yes, so have a lot of people. Another fantastic provision in this very brief document that you all must read was, and I know a lot about this subject. There was a program, I know there are all these programs. My book is mostly about how the media and the government conspire to hide just heinous, shocking, all new sorts of crimes being inflicted on the country to change our culture. Gang rape, child rape, incest rape, and so on. But he has just one little bullet point. He will take all the money out of a program that gives aid to foreign teenagers and put it in a program to give aid to inner city teenagers.
What a great idea. Isn't that incredible?
Yeah.
Yeah. We really need a country. We really need a government in this country that works for this country, as opposed to political advantage and looking good on the front page of the New York Times.
Yes, and subsidizing the cheap labor of the rich and the voters for the Democratic Party. That's why anyone who cares about any conservative issue, your number one issue has got to be immigration, because that decides every other issue. Who gets to vote in America will determine whether we can ever have another Ronald Reagan, whether we can ever have even a John McCain, or whether we'll be stuck with President Obama's for the rest of our lives. Obama never would have been elected. Clinton never would have been elected, but for post-1970 immigration. Immigrants, other than African Americans who vote overwhelmingly for the Democrats, the group that block votes the most after African Americans are immigrants. Post-1970 immigrants are voting 8-2 for the Democrats.
Wow.
8-2. So you lose everything.
Yeah, you end up literally, like you said, the left's plan to turn our country into a third world hellhole. I'm sure that's not what they would say. What they would say is they just want to make sure that they have a responsible government, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, just like the places where all these people are leaving to come here to find a better life. Why does this pathology exist, Ann? I've always wanted to ask you this. What is the benefit of the left's plan? It is temporary. We have seen it. We've seen the destruction of socialist countries accelerate as the decades have gone by. And why in heaven's name do these people believe that they're going to be able to get away with any of this?
Well, they have gotten away with it. They have. They've changed our country tremendously, to the point that Romney would have won a much bigger landslide against Obama than Reagan did against Carter in 1980, but for post-70 immigration. Block voting for the Democrats, they have gotten away with it. The psychology is people who hate America and want to see it destroyed. They want to punish America. That's what drove the 1965 Immigration Act and, of course, the Democrats' desire to have a permanent hegemonic majority, which they're on the cusp of achieving.
Yep.
Why the Republicans and, I would say, the vast majority of allegedly conservative commentators, why they're in the tank for it, that's what you need a psychologist for. But it seems to be it's just in their short-term interest. The rich want the cheap labor. They'll make their pile, and they don't care what happens to the country. And all the dweebs you see talking on TV, they just want jobs, access, power. And that's why they have to crush the Trump train.
everybody that is talking about what is going to happen next for the Republican Party is a complete outsider. We have Donald Trump at the top. We have Ben Carson. We have Carly Fiorina. The Republicans have to feel pretty repudiated at this point, don't they?
Yes, though not so much by Carly Fiorina, who seems to be a darling of the establishment. I saw both Carly Fiorina and Chris Christie on television today explaining that we need a constitutional amendment to end anchor babies because, as you know, the Civil War was fought to make sure illegal aliens could become citizens.
That's outstanding. Okay, so how's the book doing? Obviously very well. It's now your 11th New York Times bestseller, which must be just absolutely thrilling to the New York Times editorial board.
Yes. Well, I do hope your listeners will buy it and read it. It's much shorter than it looks. There are 120 pages of footnotes, and you don't have to read those. I just want you to have the full source material. But it's short, it's punchy, it reads like Law and Order and Forensic Files, and everything that's going to happen in the next year will make a lot more sense to you, and you will know why even your networks are attacking Donald Trump after reading this book.
Unbelievable. Ann Coulter, I cannot believe that you took this interview on such short notice. Thank you so much. You've done us a great favor and a wonderful service.
Thank you. Well, it's always good to talk to you, but of course I'm also completely shut out from the rest of the media as a Trump supporter.
Well, not here. You're welcome to show up anytime you'd like, and thank you very much. And I assure you that we will publicize this podcast and we'll get it out across the country as best we can.
Thank you. Good to talk to you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Ann Coulter joining us on the Wells Report here on 660 AM The Answer. And so, there are alternatives. This is another opportunity for you to see who's saying the wrong thing. The people who say, oh, we've got to have a constitutional amendment. Apparently, they have forgotten the fact that we have had any number of foreign diplomats in our nation give birth to children. Are they anchor babies too? No. So what's the story on this? Well, apparently the story is that the mainstream media and even the Republican Party want you to toe the line that says that these people have business in our country that can't be disturbed. Baloney. Absolute baloney. And the only person that's saying that it's lunch meat is Donald Trump, with able assistance from Jeff Sessions and Ann Coulter, our guest on the Wells Report on 660 AM The Answer.
Dennis Gibbs, the boat guy, here with the Big Boat and Outdoor Show. It's boating time, folks, so don't forget to tune in to the only boating talk show on 660 AM The Answer every Saturday evening from 6 to 7 p.m. Brought to you by BoatSelect.com, the site with thousands of boats for sale, or list your boat for free on BoatSelect.com. I know you have questions about your boat or one you're buying. Email those questions to me at BigBoatShow@yahoo.com.
At Arizona State University, we believe in giving you everything you need to learn to thrive. So it's good to know the experts and college reviewers agree. U.S. News and World Report names ASU the second most innovative school in the country. The Wall Street Journal says ASU is fifth in the nation for producing the best qualified graduates. The esteemed Princeton Review ranks ASU in the top 15% of America's four-year colleges as a leader in undergrad education. This is a university that empowers you to truly thrive. Arizona State University Online gives you the exact same curriculum, identical degree, and access to the same prestigious faculty as on-campus students. You can choose from over 100 degree programs, all enhanced by our innovative online learning technologies. For more information, call 1-800-600-6431. U.S. News and World Report ranked us in the top 10 for earning an online degree. All these high marks should give you confidence in your big plans. Learn to thrive with ASU Online. Call 1-800-600-6431. That's 1-800-600-6431.
Let's make an offer on that Aspen Street house.
That one doesn't have a home warranty.
Is that a problem?